Feedback, as Ken Blanchard said, is the breakfast of champions. And so the foundation of five-star experience anywhere, anyhow, is using customer feedback to continuously improve.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Franklin said, that which is painful instructs. So it's not the nice stuff, it's the ugly stuff that's valuable. You know, I've been doing this for 41 years. I figured out at the beginning of my career that I should ask for feedback. I spent the first 2 years ignoring the nasty, ugly stuff and just focused on the nice stuff. But I reached a point where I wasn't getting any better. So I started paying and being obsessed with what my customers said that they didn't like about me. And it was a long, slow journey. And I remember doing a speaking tour in New Zealand and Australia for a month. Took my mother with me. I spoke a couple dozen times, but I spent hours and hours and hours poring over the evaluation forms
Hmm.
to find out qualitatively what they didn't like. Now, yeah, you want to do more of what works and a whole lot less of what doesn't work. So I think being obsessed with the customer, being obsessed with their perspective, and don't think because you talk to your customers that you know what they think.
Mm-hmm.
Because why won't most people bother to complain about food in a restaurant? Because they're afraid that there'll be a new invisible moist crust coming back on the way back from the kitchen. So, um, survey customer experience survey literacy is very important. And in healthcare, it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because in healthcare, why, I ask this to doctors all the time, but doctors 20, 30, 40 years. How many times does a patient ever say they didn't like you? Well, once or twice. No, it's never. They never do that. But is it possible they tell the rest of the world? Absolutely. Is it possible they go on social media? Absolutely. So the difference between also rans in any
Mm-hmm.
industry and high performers is they're obsessed with continuous improvement.
So
Good,
true.
better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. And so when we work with our clients, if they don't have a good survey vendor, we require them to get a survey vendor and not inhale your own smoke. And the problem is with many organizations, and I can just go on and on and on about this, they'll tell me that they'll show me the data from their internal survey showing that they're 90, 95%.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see the verbatim comments from people that are livid with them, and I see their Google ratings, and I see livid with them, and I read RateMD, I read all those other things, and there's not 95%. So the question is your survey giving you data that will enable you to get better? Because if all it's telling you is you're great, you're wasting your time. So I see endless overlaps between the corporate investor real estate industry where you can't make mistakes, and if you do make mistakes, the only way you can get around them is work your way out of them, and the way you work your way out of them is satisfying somebody along the way.
So true. I mean, the overlaps, there's no doubt. It's 100% there. And I guess one of the things that I see is not only the importance of that and the feedback. I mean, there's no question, but the way that you and your team, you kind of go behind all of that. You talk to the people in the different departments. You find out what little rifts are going on internally that could be creating issues. And it's like you just kind of have a way of deconstructing that to get to the root of the problem. And like you said, continuous improvement. I mean, that is exactly what it is.
We like to make it real clear, learn one new idea every day and do it in a better way, which means you need to be good at listening. And there's many ways to listen. You can ask people, what's one thing we can do better? You can ask people smart questions like, what would prevent you from recommending us? You can ask if there's one thing that would change the way you see us, what would it be? You can ask them. You can survey them. You can look at your data, look at your numbers. Why aren't the numbers improving? I think that entrepreneurs who are brilliant at what they do are brilliant at reading the customer. The way I like to say this is, if you will listen to your customer, they will teach you everything you need to know about how to get them and keep them for life.